So, how do schedules start and add people? Just a little brief review. So, scheduling a meeting, as we said, can be done on Google Calendar or Gmail. Calendar, you go to your calendar, you add a meeting to it, and add your guests. And as I said, guests can forward the meeting link to other people, but if they weren't invited through your calendar event, you have to accept them to be let in. And also, we have a business Google account, and a lot of people have a school one. If you just have a personal one, like a Gmail account, the only person who can admit participants is the person who organized it. So, like if Rick organized it, he's the only one who could let people in. So you could, just like we went straight to the meet, you can go straight to the calendar by clicking on calendar and then add guests, and that will automatically notify them, as we saw. You can also do it from Gmail, like we saw. And the reason I wanted to not just use this PowerPoint, because for me, I use Gmail all the time, and I never noticed that this thing with the video is down the bottom left corner. So yes, it's down the bottom left corner, so you can do it from your Gmail. Or not. I just want to skip over this because I think that almost everybody you have is going to be a non-G Suite user. And if they are using G Suite from school, they'll probably cover that. So if you have a meeting code, enter meeting code. This was a thing that I think can really throw people off. As you noticed on the bottom left on your email, there's that thing that looked like a little keypad. And one thing that I think can really frustrate people is when you just started a new job, you started a new place, and the most basic things that everybody else knows you don't know, or you think you should know something. Like I've been using Google Apps for years, but I didn't know at all that there was that meeting code thing on there on the left until I got a meeting code from somebody, and then I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to know this. Where is that? What do I do with it? So if you get invited to a meeting and it has a meeting code, that's on the left on your Gmail. I don't know why people use that instead of just sending the link. Personally, I like the calendar. Oh, will you say something, Marsha? Oh, because I personally like the calendar because then it just sends people an email with a link they can click. So, and also you can click the link in your email, or you can copy it and put it in a text message to somebody. So it's usually super duper easy. But yet again, the things that frustrate people the very first time, and I'm going through this because I think some of your consumers may be in this group, that they are supposed to be using this work from home thing, but then they don't know where to enter the meeting code, or they try and do it the first time and it comes up with this thing and they don't know what they're supposed to do. So the very first time that you've used Google Meet with a new browser, it will probably come up and ask you if you will allow it to use the camera, and just click on allow. It's that easy. But like I said, I think with technology, people talk about math phobia, and I don't believe math phobia is a thing. No one's afraid of math. They're afraid of looking stupid. And so when somebody is using technology for the very first time and it comes up, they don't know what they're supposed to do. If you're that kind of person that gets easily anxious, it might make you really anxious. No, just click allow, it's fine. And same thing, we'll ask you if you can use the microphone, and click allow. And that's it, you're good. It will only do that the first time you've used a browser. We already talked about putting in the meeting input, so you have to worry about that. Recorded meetings, basically you can't record meetings with Google Meet. I mean, you can in theory, but you can only do it if your organization has a paid subscription and not even the lowest paid subscription. So you probably don't have that. If it's just a personal account, you can't do it. Teachers can record if they have a Google for Education account, but not students. And you can only record if you're from the same organization as the organizer. So probably you can't record the meetings. However, if you have a Mac, this is what I'm doing. you can use QuickTime and just select new screen recording in QuickTime, and it will let you record what's going on your screen. So that's the way to get around that without paying Google a bunch of money. And just because you're not a jerk, you should always ask people before recording, because like Tara, maybe they're auditioning to be in America's Next Top Model, and they don't want to be on your recording unless they've had time to have their hair and makeup people come in. So that's a way to get around it and record. You can add people to a meeting after it's already in progress. You can add them by phone. You can remove them during a meeting if they're just being really annoying. So if you want to add people, you can click on the thing on the top right of your screen that shows multiple people there, and then it'll give you an option to add people, and you can add their name and address. Or in the bottom left corner, you can click the meeting name and click on this copy joining info and get their details. So this will add people, this will send them an email, but maybe you want to send them a text message or something. So if you go in the bottom left and click on the meeting name, you can copy the info and like text it to somebody so they can just click on their phone. And then there is an option to join video meetings by phone. I never do it. I have seen people do it, so I'm just letting you know it's possible. It only works in the US and Canada, where probably all of your consumers are going to be in the US and Canada. You can also get rid of people if they're really annoying. So you can click on the person and remove them. Only the meeting moderator can remove people, so nice try getting rid of Marshall, Tara. You can hang up on a person, and so you can disconnect a person if they're on their phone.